I thought I had it all together, but I was led astray the day you walked away. You were the clock that was ticking in my heart, changed my state of mind when love's so hard to find. Your feelings changed like the weather, went from gray to gray, all that time to pay. How can I go on with a cup falling apart? Love's so hard to find when someone's on your mind. Listen, baby, your wish is not to me. Baby, won't you understand?
Hey Joey, you want to hear a joke?
You know what? Sure.
Which American president was the least guilty?
I don't know. Who?
Abraham Lincoln. Get it? Because he's innocent. Get it? No?
No.
I'm sure someone out there got it. I'm Rod,
That wasn't funny.
and welcome to Show 15. Calling all Portos lovers, today is the last day to pre-order your favorite pastries. You can buy 6 of them for $10 and 12 for $16. Talk to any senior council member to place your order.
SMW doesn't only sell lanyards and pins, they'll also be hosting a canned food drive too. All donations will go to the Foothill Unity Center, and check donations will also be accepted. Please do not bring any perishable or homemade foods, as they will not be accepted.
On Wednesday night, Southern California was devastated by one of the largest mass shootings in its history. Let's go to Ryan with more.
The name of Ian David Long went on a killing spree at the Borderline Bar and Grill in Thousand Oaks, ending the lives of 12 innocent people, injuring 12 more, and taking his own life. His motives are yet to be determined.
I think the fact that he also too was a veteran, they are more susceptible to having issues like PTSD, and so I think we need to have a closer eye because he was suffering and people knew and didn't react to it, and I think that needs to change. That should have changed.
29-year veteran police sergeant Ron Heelis was the first respondent to confront the shooter. Seconds after his arrival, he was fatally shot and announced dead at a local hospital.
It's hard for me to put into words how I feel. We hear about these shootings that happen at other places, but the fact that it happened to a place that I used to call my home, I'm very sad.
Amidst all this shooting, we also remember not to spread hate, but instead spread love to those affected by this tragedy. This has been Ryan, back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks for the information, Ryan. Today is the last day to pay for your $5 CSF membership fee. Member lists are posted all over the classrooms, and memberships can be paid for at the ASP office.
Link Crew is hosting a freshman movie night tonight at the softball field from 5:30 to 9 p.m. Come on out and watch Spider-Man Homecoming with your friends while enjoying free popcorn and raffles. Bring your ID card, blankets, and chairs, and get ready for a fun night.
We won't have school on Monday because of Veterans Day, but there's a reason why we celebrate it. Adrian is here to give a history and importance of this honored holiday.
When we honor the flag, we also honor the people who fought to protect it. But to honor their service, we have a special day, a Veterans Day. The holiday wasn't originally called Veterans Day, but rather Armistice Day, named after the armistice that ended World War I, the date being when it was signed. But in 1954, the holiday became known as Veterans Day to honor all the veterans who served the military. You don't have to wait for Veterans Day to honor our troops, though. Charities like Wounded Warrior have made it their mission to give help to soldiers in need. If you know any veterans, be sure to thank them for their service. This has been Adrian. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Hey Joey, did you know that sports is taking a break from the show today?
Yeah, that's fine. I hated physical activity anyways.
Well, don't knock it till you try it.
I mean, if sports is taking a break, shouldn't we too?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go to break.
I actually haven't started yet.
Yikes, I've got like a paragraph done maybe, like not a lot.
So I finished all my UCs, but I still have a lot of supplements to do for my privates.
I haven't started.
I finished mine because I had to submit pre-screen materials for a musical theater BFA, so.
Hey Joey, do you know who our current governor is?
I don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, only feels back. On Wednesday, the live midterm election special covered the results on a national level.
With today's segment, we'll focus on the state results and how they'll locally affect us. This has been Joey.
And this has been Rod. Now let's go over to Nick.
Hey Apaches, I'm Nick and welcome back to the second part of the Apache News live special of the midterm elections. The recent results have not only shifted power in Congress, but in state governments as well. Live in the studio, we have Mr. Freeze, a social studies teacher, Sarah Wang, an ASP member, and we also have Troy Cheadle, and Mr. Pasqua, a social science teacher. So, Mr. Freeze, with Gavin Newsom as governor, how do you see California? How do you see California in a couple years?
Well, Gavin Newsom is a Democrat, as was our previous governor, Jerry Brown. But Gavin Newsom kind of made his name on liberal progressive issues. As a candidate, even though he was in sort of the same administration as Jerry Brown, he ran as a change agent. So it remains to be seen what he's going to do as governor, but as a candidate, he was running on issues like single-payer health care, more funding for education, and stronger gun control. Overall, he had a very anti-Trump message, and he had a very progressive message. He's already discussed and talked about possibly saying that he wouldn't have vetoed many of the laws that Jerry Brown has. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Trey, what do you feel?
Yeah, I also believe that Gavin Newsom is a very progressive man, and we are, in these upcoming years, going to see a lot of change in the state of California. He is pushing for a lot of strong ideas like same-sex marriage and legalizing cannabis and usage. So these types of actions from him, I'm going to see like a lot of back and forth between California and Trump. So there's going to be a lot of new ideas coming in and out, and we're going to see some pretty interesting years up ahead.
Sarah, do you envision major changes in policy by Gavin Newsom?
I do believe that with his progressive agenda, he will antagonize the Trump administration a little bit. California is already a sanctuary state, which means that a lot of our federal funding has been cut off, and we don't get a lot of support from the federal government. So I see California going further down that line. We're definitely going to pursue stricter gun control, especially after the shooting tragedy that happened a couple of days ago. I believe the NRA sued one of the laws that was passed to ban gun control. I think that Newsom is going to bring that back for sure.
And Mr. Pasqua, do you think there will be a change in what do you think about President Trump's response to the midterms, and do you think there will be a change in his demeanor and his agenda for policies?
Probably not. And the only thing I'm reflecting on is the fact that the last time the House flipped during the Obama administration, they took both the House, the Senate, and the governors. That didn't happen this time around. He's got a Senate that's going to be more conducive to work with him, and which means he can basically pick federal judges with impunity at that point. And also, despite the fact that Justice Ginsburg has said she wants to work till she's 90, the fact that she's in the hospital right now means that there is probably a good chance before the next senator race that Trump is going to add a third Supreme Court justice to his bench. You know, I'm not sure who it's going to be. It'll probably be Amy Coney Barrett or somebody like that. But you know, I think having a Senate that can still work on federal appointments, that means he doesn't have near the influence that he had in the past, but he's going to have a lot more than Obama did when the situation reversed itself.
Do you think there's been a change in response by any parties in their demeanor because of the midterm elections, do you think?
Well, I would say that Trump's sort of stoking the flames of fear regarding immigration towards the last few weeks of the election. I think that he will probably continue to do that. I do think that he saw that as successful in terms of gaining a couple seats in the Senate. And so I do believe that we'll see further division in the country because of that. I think that him having the House be majority Democrat will, and the investigative, being the investigative body, will make it even more contentious as we move forward.
Sarah, do you think these midterm elections have united or divided the country, do you think?
Well, I think the Democrats didn't see the blue wave that they were hoping to see, but it was definitely a significant response, I think, in response to Trump's anti-immigrant and perhaps discriminatory rhetoric, because we see a lot of firsts. We see the first few Muslim candidates, openly gay candidate, youngest woman, and I think that reflects Americans slowly starting to embrace our identity as a nation of immigrants. So I think that we will have to compromise and work between the aisle now that House and Senate is bipartisan.
So, well, it looks like we're going to have to wrap this up. Thank you guys for coming into the studio. Thank you for discussing with us and sharing your opinion. So if you want a chance to get a shout out on our next show, make sure, Apaches, you comment the name of our outro song down below. Also, don't forget to follow us on all our social media accounts down below. And remember to watch the CIF Round 2 football live stream against the Torrance Temescal Canyon tonight at 6:45. This has been Nick, and we'll see you on Wednesday, Apaches.